Dave Van Auken here. How are you doing? The red light is on. We are going. Guys, UFC 270 Saturday. We're days away, hours away. So excited. Bringing in a guest. I'm going to bring her on in just 1 minute. So happy to talk to her again. Yeah, she's a star. We got a good one here for sure. Real quick, I just want to say something out there. I threw it on social media and Facebook, and it's a lot different from just talking to you guys than writing it, right? I just want to say a huge, absolute thank you. We've been doing this podcast. I've been podcasting over 500 different shows, different platforms, and so on and so on. But Fight Bananas, and for over the last 3 years, we've been doing it. So far, January 2022, and this was 2-3 days ago when I announced it, we our greatest downloaded month ever, and we're only halfway in. We got a huge 270. We have new shows coming on board. It's absolutely bananas. It's crazy. That's what the kids say. So I just want to say thank you. There we go. We got that said. Talking to you guys. Always love seeing you. All right, we're bringing her on. We did a little Instagram live around week and a half ago. I said, hey, we got to do more. She's like, yeah, we connected. Absolute lover. She's a stud. Just like her vibe. Great follow on social media. She does great stuff for different platforms, and we're just all a big happy family, and she knows her shit. So big fan. So we're going to bring on right now our dear friend, Maddie Levine.
Hi.
Maddie.
Thanks for having me.
Doing good?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Awesome. Great. Congratulations on a big January, it sounds like.
Insane. Like, in the beginning of it didn't make sense. There was no fights going on.
I know.
I was like, we did some of that stuff, but so many different shows does awards. We're just not that same brand. We're not that same show. So we're doing some theory stuff and some fun stuff. Brought on some great guests. Jillian the Robertson was back on the pod.
Right.
Lydia Warren, she's an amateur about to turn pro out there on the West Coast out of Jackson Wink, an absolute stud. Big Tuna, Bellator light heavyweight. And we always have Taylor Starlin on our girl. So we're just, it's been a good month so far.
That's awesome. I love it. And we're just beginning.
I know. I can't wait. Calvin Kattar had a humongous performance. I loved your social media platform on it. That's how I watch fights. I can't watch it. People that know me can watch fights. I can't bring people over that don't know me like that. It's
okay.
Just like a kid.
I feel so bad for my neighbors because we definitely got so loud.
Yeah.
And, we were a little attached to the main event. I mean, my husband, Ross Levine, was actually Calvin Kattar's sparring partner for this.
Right.
So we were emotionally invested,
Right.
We were really into it. But not only that, besides all that, it was just that fight was such a treat for anybody that supports Calvin Kattar or really anybody.
And it's one of those, and I'm not saying Giga, of course, fought back and had a performance, but it was really one-sided. It was so eerie to what Max Holloway did to Calvin the year before in a weird way. A year later,
oh my gosh,
Calvin absolutely dominated. I'm a Buffalo Bills fan, a big Bills fan, and what Bills did to the Patriots, it was just a great domination. It was a fun football game, and that's for a Calvin Kattar fan. And I'm going to say it a little bit. I've talked to Calvin. Calvin's a great guy. Their team's always been great to me. I was rooting heavy for Calvin Kattar too. It was a fun fight because you could tell he was dominating. He felt good. You could see he was in that rhythm, felt smooth. I felt just happy for the man, not even the fighter.
Right. And what a renaissance fight for him. It's you come off this Max Holloway fight, you get your ass beat in the best way. I mean, he had his own moments.
Yeah.
But a fighter will either do one of two things after a fight like that. They'll either crash and burn, or they'll get the rub and they'll skyrocket.
Yeah.
And I really think Calvin got the rub and just learned how to, we all know that he has a chin. So not only that, but now he's learning how to adapt and learning how to evolve as a fighter. And it's just such a joy to watch. And for him to be able to just completely execute it, his game plan was so awesome.
And this one thing is so great. And with us being in the game and the fight game and stuff like that, sometimes from a fan or someone doesn't know you says something great about you, but it means so much more when you're peers, when someone in the community that does what you and I do, dude, I seen your show. Your show is fun. It's different. You connect. It's awesome. When you see Calvin wins and it's Dustin Poirier and Max Holloway and Alexander Volkanovski saying, great job, Calvin, you're the man, you're the stud. It's
I know.
That goes a long way.
When I saw that Max Holloway tweet, I was like, oh, damn.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
I know, yeah. So even Calvin probably, a little inside, that felt good. That felt
inside, good. He's like,
All right, boom, we just did it. We put the bow on UFC 46. There's a humongous UFC pay-per-view days away. 2 mega fights, and then on the whole card, 9 deep. There's like really sneaky good fighters, sneaky good fights. But of course, there's 4 guys on the poster: a trilogy flyweight championship, an undisputed heavyweight match. Let's start at the very top, have fun, and then see where we go with it.
Yeah.
It's that time. I think we got to like really hunker down, make predictions. Where are you seeing Francis Ngannou, the champ, and then Ciryl Gane, the interim champ, and their mojo and the little bit of the rivalry? Where do you see this fight at and going into it?
It's really funny, or at least I always think it's really funny to try and predict a heavyweight fight.
Yeah.
Because let's be real here, it takes one amazing shot for either one of these guys to come out on top. But I think there's no denying that their styles are going to clash. And I think it's a matter of who can stick to their game plan more and who isn't going to get overexcited. We've seen Ngannou go in there and just throw those haymakers that we love to see him throw. But sometimes that can get you in trouble a little bit, especially when you have a mover and a shaker. So, I have a hard time picking one, but I think I'm going to go with the mental game aspect here. And I think that Gane has just like a better mental state right now. You see Ngannou complaining about his contract. You see him worried about his ex-coach. He's worried about all these things that aren't even the fight, right? But then you see Gane just talking about how he's excited to get back in there and he's excited to show his skills and how good his camp went. And you listen to their dialogue and they're very different dialogues. So I think I'm going to go with Gane. Gane. I always say his name wrong, but yeah. I think I'm going to go with that one. Hey, I could eat my own words. It's a heavyweight fight. Who knows?
Yeah. No, Maddie, you absolutely killed it. Everyone in this game should be following Maddie Levine right there. Give her a follow on socials. Absolutely nailed it to a T, right? So for one, you're absolutely right. Like any one of us that predicts, I know what this heavyweight fight's going to be like. Get the hell over yourself. Like, come on, you don't. Especially these two guys. They're the 1 and 2. Like, so anything could happen. But okay, I'm going to go the exact polar opposite. It was so funny. I just had Felicia Spencer on. We did our picks, and she likes Gane as well. Soon as this fight was announced, as soon as he saw the poster, I was like, I like Ciryl Gane. He can win in so many different ways. How about leg kick Francis Ngannou? No one's ever done it. That would just blow his mind. He wouldn't be able to adapt. How about him on the ground? I think, and then if this fight goes, anyone predicts that this fight goes over 22 minutes, Ciryl Gane has this locked up, all this stuff. I get it. I'm the same way. I'm like all the way. Literally 24 hours ago, I saw the contract bullshit. I seen the manager shit. I'm like, Francis Ngannou is going to win the fight. Like, this is the UFC. This is chaos. When everything is leaning one way, it goes the other way. And
yeah,
I can't put my finger on it. It might be a minute and a half. It really might be that much, or it might be. I think Ciryl will try to sooner or later, if he tries to stay on the outside, right, and he leg kicks and jabs and does Muay Thai stuff. Sooner or later, it's going to get into it, like 7 minutes into it, 9 minutes into it. I don't think they're going to do the Derek Lewis Francis, from 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
So I think when that happens, I think Francis will be ready. And I think he's adapting to, as much as I think he deep down inside knows if he wants to make money and fight Tyson Fury, like, is he going to fight Tyson Fury off of a loss? Like, I don't see that. I don't think he's big enough yet. He's never defended the title. Like,
right.
Like, I think he needs a couple of these wins. And I think we're all like in this recency bias, and we haven't seen Ngannou fought since the apex and the height of the coronavirus and all that. I think Ngannou knocks him out. I think he knocks him out within 10 minutes. Yeah, I'm going with it.
I mean, he does have a chip on his shoulder, it's something like that. And it's, I can see that too. It's so hard. And I'm really not swayed either way. I like both of them as a fighter. I think, they're both fun to watch and everything. I'm always going to go with the strikers. I mean, I love strikers.
Right.
I know that I'm glad that it's not me in there. And that's all I know. Oh my God. Do we know
amateur
how
fighters.
tall Ngannou is? Do we know how tall he is?
6'5.5"?
Yeah.
Like 6'6".
Okay, so I'm 5'2".
Yeah.
Like, I can't even just imagine, like, standing next to the guy. Like, oh my God. But
Maddie, you've probably done the same thing. Like, I go into gyms all the time. I love being in the roots, ground. What is it called? Like feet on the ground, whatever it's called. The funny analogy, right? And I hit it, and you hear the pads. You're like, whap, whap. I go, and I'm looking, and I go to like the coach. I'm like, who is that? They're like, oh, that's a 145er. He's a 2-4 amateur fighter. You're like, holy shit. Like, this is these, no one realized how hard they hit. And the last thing I'll say on Francis is, to me, Francis has always been the younger fighter, the less experienced fighter to like Stipe Miocic and Derek Lewis and all these big guys. And to me, MMA-wise, Francis is kind of the veteran in a way against Gane. And also, I think Francis, he's evolving and he's getting better. Like, no one thinks that Francis could, maybe add to his arsenal and game. I don't know. It's just the closer and closer I get to this, I'm like, Francis Ngannou an underdog? Like, in what world are we living in here?
Bold move, Cotton.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I think people forget how crazy his story is too.
Yeah.
Like, he's had such a crazy story and he's evolved so much already, and that doesn't mean that that could stop anytime soon. So maybe we'll see a whole new Ngannou. We'll see.
I want to see him like working jits. Like, I want him a knee bar.
Oh my God. I feel like if he were to get slammed to the ground, the cage would just crack in half.
Brock Lesnar, Big Show. If you get the analogy, you get it. All right. So one huge heavyweight fight. We go to the exact polar opposite. Trilogy fight, flyweights. And it's kind of weird how much now, like, these guys, everything I've been seeing, very respectful. There's a lot of respect and just likeness to it, if you to a better word. Moreno is like the people's champion out of nowhere, being cut, Ultimate Fighter, all that stuff. And Davison, I think people, same way with Francis now, I think people are sleeping on how vicious and how nasty Davison Figueiredo is. And he's a now plus 150, 160 underdog. This is a really intriguing fight. I like this fight a lot. I kind of want to see where you're going to go with it before I make my pick. But I like this fight a lot. Moreno in a trilogy flyweight fight that we don't see a lot. Do you like Moreno or do you like Figgy in this?
Man. So I mean, how can you not love Moreno? If you don't like Moreno, you're an asshole, honestly.
Yeah. Wait, get him out of here. Like, get him out.
Yeah, exactly. Just get out. But I'm giving this to Figueiredo.
Yeah.
After watching his latest camp and listening to him talk about the trilogy, he is so fired up. Like, he has this, like, concept of, like, losing isn't even an option. And sometimes I worry about Moreno's take on things of how nice this dude actually is. Does he have that kill switch? Is he able to turn that off and just go ape shit on somebody, Right. Where I feel like Figueiredo has that ability to just 1000% go all in. So I think, it's a trilogy. It's kind of a do or die situation. I think I don't see any reason why they would fight again in the near future.
Right.
So I'm giving it to him.
I agree on this one. But to me, it's very Rocky Balboa-ness. As the champion, you sleep in silk sheets, and he has a Lego World Championship. You know what I mean? Like, he has, like, that's like probably his dream. Like, he's so cool and nerdy.
Way cooler.
Yeah, he's like, this is his dream. Figueiredo is in the gym, like all these embeddeds and countdowns. He's never looked this good. His weight has never looked this good. And you nailed something so great. Like, you can't put this on paper or analytics, his last shot. Like, Figueiredo and his camp knows this is probably the last flyweight championship he will ever get. Moreno in years to come. And then I would assume, because Figgy's always been a big 125er, if he loses this, he probably moves up to bantamweight. Yeah. The bantamweights are absolutely insane. Like, who wants to get in that mess? So it's like,
God,
right?
It's the most stacked division. It's crazy.
So this fight is so important to Figgy, and Moreno. Like, he just won the title. He's got. Just it looks he's very happy, and he looks like he's I don't want to say satisfied, but that's what he comes off as, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, he reached a dream, a goal. It's any man or woman out there. Like, if you get that ESPN job, it's like,
right. Right. And there's no knocking on him at all. I mean, it's like, he should be proud of himself. He should be feeling this way, but you know, is he wearing rose-colored glasses during this fight camp? You know, you have to wonder. We'll see. I don't know. It's crazy. I love the fight game because you never
I
know.
know. I love it. And we also don't know, Rose Namajunas talked about this so much, how much the weight of being the champion was.
Yes.
Morano's never been the champ. He's never had a
Right.
championship week. Huge card, like the first pay-per-view of the year, Nagano, like it's just got a lot of lights on it. How is he going to deal with it? Because when he fought in Arizona, for one, that fight even was so, like, Nate Diaz was back against Leon Edwards.
Yeah.
Izzy was in the main event. Like that co-main, I was like, oh yeah, cool. Moreno and Figgy's on that card. That's awesome.
Right.
Like it was just so underneath the radar. This fight isn't. Like this fight's got a lot of limelight on it. It's a big deal, and let's see if he can handle it. I don't know. I'm going with Figgy. I'm going with the stoppage though. I don't think it goes 25 minutes. I think these guys go, like you said, they really put some motor on it. Figgy round 2 TKO.
Damn. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was seeing it in honestly either 2 or 3.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
for sure.
So we're on different paths. You know, we're like Yankees, Red Sox in the championship match. And then in the co-man, we're on the same team. I like it.
I like it.
Give me another fight, another fighter. There's a really cool female fight down there, Vanessa Demopoulos. You got Ilya Tapora is now back on the card. There's a lot of couple moving parts here. Give me another fight that people should be like, oh, I'm into this. Like,
yeah, I mean,
gotta get it. What you thinking?
Are we still talking 270 or are we just
Saturday night.
You know, I need to look more at this card.
Okay.
Let me look at this my handy dandy Google here. But there were a couple that jumped out at me.
And a lot of moving stuff, a lot of COVID stuff. New fights have kind of been moving all over the place. So it's been a little wacky, but there's 3 or 4 really kind of standout fights that could be the fight of the night. A lot of future guys. So I'm excited about it.
Oh, that's right. My girl Kay Hansen's going to be on the early prelims.
Okay.
And you know, I got a chance to talk to her a while back, and I love her. I love her energy.
Right.
She's a crazy person in the cage, absolute crazy person. So, you know, get the night started early with that early prelim. It looks like she's starting off the card, which is great. She's an incredible striker and likes to take it to the ground as well. So she does a little bit of everything. When it comes to the prelims, yeah, I'm not really familiar with many of the prelim guys, honestly. I still have a lot of homework to do, but is there one that's sticking out to you that you're like, yes?
To me, it's Ilya Tapora. Like the guy's just a monster. He's undefeated. I think he's probably the guy on the card.
He's minus 5'10". I think he's the favorite.
There you go. He's he's 3 years from now, like when he's fighting for a championship, this is going to be on his on the highlight reel. Yeah, he's that good of a fighter, and it's just the guys fight 2 or 3 times a year. So when they do, it's like, hey, we got to watch it. Got to make sure you keep your eye on him. Yeah, he's definitely that good. He's that guy. Okay, so I think we both 270. I wanted to do this at the beginning, but hopefully we hooked everyone in, so we'll give it at the end. I want you to talk about you. I know you do the radio stuff in the morning. You're killing it at MMA Island. You do stuff around. Maddie, 5 minutes. It's all you.
Okay. Well, no. So yeah, I work in radio. I've been working in radio since I graduated college in 2015. It kind of, I don't want to say fell into my lap, but I was forced to go to a work, like a job fair. I was like, all right, I'll go. And so I found out about radio. Fell in love with it. Worked my way onto on air. I had a great couple of mentors. Fast forward, I now work for a station called Fun 107. It's a top 40 pop station in Massachusetts, and I love it. Early mornings, I work from 5 to 10 in the morning, but once you get used to that, it's a breeze, and I get to talk for a living, which, it's so wonderful, and we get to be so in tune with the community, and just being able to balance that with my love for fighting has just been so rewarding. And I started martial arts myself around the same time as radio. Another situation where a friend was like, just come with me. It's free. You don't have to pay for it. I'm like, all right. Drank the Kool-Aid immediately. Loved it. Took my first fight 6 months into training. started fighting probably every 4 months after that. And that's when I realized I really wanted to marry my two loves, my martial arts side and my journalistic media reporting side.
Right.
So I started really honing in on that. I did a couple things for Lion Fight, and I started getting in front of the camera more, started pushing it on social media more, and I managed to get a lot of friends in the martial arts world because it's a small world and
Yes.
it's a tight-knit world.
Everyone, yeah.
So we mingle, and MMA Island reached out. My man Chris DeSantiago over there, he's a wonderful guy, and I start helping them. And so now we're just rocking and rolling. Started a YouTube channel. So you can find me, Maddie Levine, YouTube channel. And yeah, we're just trying to see where this goes. I really want to live a life that feels fulfilled, and I don't want to work a day in my life, as they say. So,
right.
This is the journey that I chose, and it's been so fun. And I can't wait to see where it goes next. I want to talk to everybody and shoot the shit with everybody, and hopefully one day you'll see me next to Laura Senko.
There you go. Laura's a monster, by the way, and I say that in the nicest way possible.
Yes.
Two things, though, you said I kind of want to jump at. One, you were talking about fighting 6 months into it. Have you fought recently, and is that something you want to do again?
So I fought last year, and looking back, I probably shouldn't have. It was one of those fights where I was jonesing to fight. And to be clear, I kickbox.
Okay.
So I was jonesing to fight, and I kind of waltzed into this fight mid-pandemic, and I was like, yeah, we're good. Like, back in the gym, couple months. It's like riding a bike. No, got my ass beat. It was a little humbling. That was my last fight, and I've been ever since been trying to get back in the ring, but life has other plans, and I would like to fight in the near future, but at the same time I just got married, and my husband and I want to start a family, so that always throws a wrench in the weight cut business.
Is there any breaking news you want to do? I'll just mess up.
Right here.
By the way, though, so we follow each other now on social media, and great follow. Like I said, make sure you follow Maddie, and you throw those pictures up. I'm like, holy shit, man! Like, I'm married, beautiful wife. We have 4 kids, but not like, dude, when you get older and like in, the kid stuff, like you start like seeing good wedding pictures. You're like, man, that's some good stuff. Those are good pictures. That stuff at home. That was good.
Shout out to Emily Krenka Photography. She did great.
Yeah.
We're starting to get all the photos now, and we get to relive that special day. And it was really cool. She made me feel like a superstar. So what more could you ask for?
Have you and your husband talked about maybe doing something like on air together, like a show together, or little podcast or something of that nature?
It's actually kind of funny. So during 2020, when we were all quarantined doing absolutely nothing, we did start a YouTube channel called Levine the Good Life. So good.
Whoa. That's got money written all over it.
That's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
And we were killing it. We were doing a good job. And then it just kind of fell off. It felt weird to work with him. It became work. It became like not enjoyable. Like at first it was fun. And then we started getting a lot of views. And then we were like, okay, like it became a job. So we kind of nixed that. But I think, now that I've established myself like with my own name and he's got his thing, I think it could probably work in the future. Okay. We'll see. But awesome. he'll be a guest on my show.
There you go. I love it. Maddie, you're an absolute star. We love you here at Fight Bananas. Like I said, we just want to use you more and more. I just love your takes and your outlook on this stuff. So we're just super pumped to talk to you again. Huge pay-per-view, UFC 270. So I think we're on the same co-main. We got the underdog in Figgy. We're different on Francis and Cyril Gane. So I'll text you around 12:30 when Francis.
Yes.
I'll give you a text. I'll just do a smiley emoji. That's it.
I love it. Sounds good.
Awesome. Maddie, you're the best. We'll talk to you real soon, okay?
Can't wait.